These are the plaintiffs, Joseph Cover Sr. and Joseph Cover Jr. They say the defendant, their landlord, made it impossible to do their work in the space they rented from him, which cost them business, and they ultimately had to move out. Since the defendant interfered with their ability to make a living, he needs to pay them the $4,694 they're out. This is the defendant, Terrence Vaughn. He says this lawsuit's absurd, and he is in fact shocked the plaintiffs are even attempting to sue him in court. They were nightmare tenants who blasted music so loud you could hear it on the street 100 feet away. He's thankful they left. Certainly doesn't owe them a dime, and he's the one due money from them for all the problems they caused. He's accused of interfering. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,296.42 for damages and uncollected rent.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiffs say their landlord made it impossible for them to do work in their space, but the defendant says the plaintiffs were the worst tenants in the world. It's the case of men not at work.
Okay, Joseph Cover and Joseph Cover Jr., you are suing Terrence Vaughn?
Yeah.
For $4,604 in a security deposit he owes you, plus loss of business and other expenses you say you had to incur because he did not deliver on a lease that you thought you'd have permission to do certain things on. You have a counterclaim against him for $1,296.42 in damages that you say you have sustained upon their vacating from the lease. What's going on?
Early March of last year, May of last year, a friend of mine told me their uncle was looking, because his son was moving out and he was looking for a tenant. So I told her I wasn't really looking for a place, and then she said, no, it's a lot bigger, and since she knows that I'm a DJ, because her husband and I are DJ buddies. We used to do countless parties, and the fact that I was also working on a TV show or for internet. She said
a TV show for internet.
Right.
Okay, a show for internet.
Internet show, internet-based show. So me and one of my artists, because I also have a record label, we had an apartment together, and when his mother got sick, she moved in, and it was like a party because even though it was a little cramped, but she fed. All I had to do was buy food. She fed us. She did my laundry. She cleaned the house, and
Well, then why'd you move in with him? Was he going to do better?
No, well. At first, I wasn't even planning on using the place as for me to live in. I was going to use it for a studio because I'm
sorry. Is this a house or an apartment?
Apartment.
It's an apartment that you lease.
Yes.
So you're subletting to him. How are you going to get studio space in a residential place that he's not even the owner of?
Exactly my point. Well, first thing I asked him, I said, well, could I put a studio in here? Because, that's what I'm looking to do. And he was like, no problem.
Okay,
I told him.
So you lease the place, but you end up moving in and living there.
Well, because when my son found out that what I was setting up there, he also has a magazine that he's putting together.
What kind of magazine?
It's like a men's interest.
A what?
A men's interest.
A men's interest?
Something like Smooth King Show.
What? Is it golf?
No, it's a bikini magazine.
It's like models
a
and
bikini magazine.
A
Yeah.
bikini magazine?
Right.
Men's interest.
It has articles in there, models.
Yeah, people read it for the articles, but it's what is it? Soft porn? What is this?
If you want to call it that.
That's what your father called it in the complaint.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
But what I actually classify it as 21.
So go on.
So
he decides he wants to run the soft porn magazine out of the place too.
Because we was going to use the same equipment to do photo shoots.
Okay.
So it just became like and then he also wanted the offspring from his mother. So
he wanted what?
To move out from his mother.
Okay.
So to me it became like wow, now I have a chance to bond with my son because the last time we were under the same roof he was 2 years old.
Right.
So
you both slept at that place. So this was your residence once you started renting this place, correct?
Yes.
Okay. But you wanted to be able to do certain things in it, and I guess along the pike, this did not sit well with you. How long were they there?
My understanding from the beginning was, okay, he's wanted to rent the room. He was paying me every 4 weeks. I said, I showed him the room. He said, oh, it's nice. I said, you have access to the living room. I didn't say anything about a studio. I know he used the studio not far from there, and it was like, oh, this will be a little more convenient for me to get to my studio. So I assume that's another reason why he was interested in taking the place, because it was closer to the studio he was using. Okay, my thing was, okay, you could bring your equipment in. I don't have a problem with him playing music. I complained one time when the music was being heard all the way up the block and everybody was looking up like it was a disco going on in the house.
By then they had lived there for how long?
A month and a half.
Okay, so what happened? How did they end up, had they moved out?
Yes.
And did they move out at your request?
No.
Okay, well, how did they end up moving out?
He came to me around January and said I'm moving in March.
So he gives you notice that he wants to move out, and then what happens? He moves out.
I said, is there a problem? He said, well, things ain't working out the way I thought.
Okay.
That's
now,
okay.
so this is what day that he gives you notice?
I believe it was January 15th.
Okay, and then he moves out when?
The 13th of February. He told me the night before, because, this way he wouldn't have to pay. He told me then, oh, I'm moving out tomorrow.
Okay, so he gives you notice on January 15th, but the notice he gives you is I'm moving out in March.
March.
Okay, is that accurate that you gave him notice on January that you were moving out in March?
Yeah, and then the next day when we had the other conversation, I was like, well, things are moving a little quicker than I thought.
So according to you, you told him then that you were moving in February 15th?
Yes.
Okay, and you say that didn't happen?
I'm saying he told me
March and only March.
And when I heard he was moving out, it was the day before. He did mention say something a couple of days later, like things is moving a little fast. He didn't specify, but then when that day before he moved, he said I'm moving out tomorrow.
Okay, now you have a security deposit of how much?
$700 accrued.
All right, now you're suing for derailing your show, derailing your son's magazine.
Well,
how did he derail your show?
All right.
And how did he derail your son's porn?
Well, it's actually his photos. So go ahead.
Okay, why don't you tell me? You wanted to have a bunch of scantily clad women in the apartment taking pictures for soft porn, and he didn't allow it to happen?
Right. It's not actually soft. It's no nudity involved. It's just swimwear, lingerie, stuff.
Are you selling swimwear, dude?
No,
or are you
I'm
selling fancy?
I'm selling a magazine that has those kind of pictures in there.
Right. You're not selling swimwear, right? Go on.
No, I'm not selling swimwear.
My son decided to try out a photo shoot in his room. Well, that'll be interesting. The shoot came to an abrupt end when Terrence came out ranting about how someone used his bathroom. How'd you figure that one out?
I saw it looked like someone went in my bathroom. There's two bathrooms. They know there's a bathroom that's for them to use on their own. Nobody else goes in there, so I questioned it. Little did I know they had a photo shoot in there, though.
There were a bunch of women in bikinis in his bedroom?
There was in the living room at one time. They did have a photo shoot in my living room.
Okay, and did you ever put that one to a stop?
I didn't say anything at that time.
Okay, and then so now there's a photo shoot in the bedroom, but your objection is that a scantily clad bikinied girl used your bathroom?
No, I didn't know who used the bathroom.
You just knew that somebody had used it?
Right, exactly.
So can the landlord object if these guys decide they're just going to do model bikini shoots in the building that they rent?
No, I don't think they can because they're paying rent and
it's legal.
It's legal, yeah, as long as it's not prostitution or something bad like that.
And we have no evidence of that?
I think the landlord can object because you don't know if the tenants have the proper insurance to run their business.
They don't have a bikini license. Is that what you're saying? What do you think?
I disagree, actually. As long as it's legal activity and the tenant's paying the rent, they have the right to do what they want.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
You're going to have a counterclaim for $1,296.42 for what? 16 days in February because you feel he didn't give you notice. I understand that.
Right.
$150 owed on the security deposit.
Yeah, he was supposed to give me a month's security.
Yeah, but you don't get it later if you didn't do anything about it beforehand. What you get is whatever you're out. Security's to cover what you're out. $75 to paint the son's room. Why?
Because I have some photos.
Yeah, I'd like to see them.
Okay. I have photos that damaged the wall in his bedroom. You have some damage on the floor in the father's room.
And what is this on the wall?
That's
I had placed his TV on the wall, and then when we took it down, I had repaired it, and the only thing that just needed was a little paint, and we saw the yellow paint that was there already. So
Say it again?
There's yellow paint that was there when we left. You know, he had yellow
You
paint.
mean a can?
He had
Okay,
the
why
paint.
didn't
It was
you
in the
paint it?
bathroom
Why
the
didn't you
entire
paint
time
it?
that was there.
Why didn't you paint it?
You're right. I should have painted, but it
and
was
then the
everything
damage
came
but
about-
did you spackle this?
Yeah, I did.
To cover the hole?
I fixed
okay.
it.
And then the damage to the floor, how did that happen?
That floor was not new when I moved in. I mean, it may have caught a couple more scratches from me sitting at my desk, but that floor was not
That's
new.
over your desk? That's where your desk chair was?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, here's what we have. We have a $700 security deposit. We have some damage that I'm looking at that has a value.
Now, when I was going to deduct, excuse me, Judge, when I was going to deduct $175 for the damage, he didn't have a problem with that.
And then what happened?
And then I got something in the mail before all that was
Did
resolved.
you ever agree to that and then decided you didn't want to agree to it?
No, what I told him was that.
And if you deducted $175 for it, why is it now worth $491? I'm sorry, why is it now worth?
Well, there was a couple.
I'm sorry, wait. Why is it now worth $800 and something?
Because once he sued, and
You got mad, and it all
Yeah,
of
I
a sudden
said I'm not here because I was trying to be, cordial, okay, let's just
All
get
right,
this
everybody
done.
stop. I'm done. Okay?
But you're not.
No, I'm done. Oh, stick a fork in me. I am done. Okay? I don't care about your photo shoot or your soft porn or your this or your that or whatever else. It didn't work out, so you can get out. That's it. That's your remedy, is to get out. You don't get to sue for moving costs. You don't get to sue for lost business because he didn't like that there's a bunch of women parading in bikinis being photographed in the bedroom, one of them using his toilet. I mean, this is ridiculous. It didn't work out. You were released. Go. It takes you 30 days to find a new place and get out somewhere. Go ahead and go. That's it. All right? What this is really about, and the right you have is, hey, Judge, I got a security deposit and he's keeping too much. Okay. Now, you got a counterclaim against him for rent. If I believe he didn't give you sufficient notice, then you get that rent. I believe he gave you sufficient notice. All right? You yourself admit that he said, hey, this is moving a lot faster. And then what? And then you go, no, I don't want to hear anymore. Don't talk. This is the part where you listen. You've been talking for a long time. Okay? So I believe you knew that at that point that, in fact, it was happening in February and not March. I'm not going to order him to pay you the rent. As for the damage, I find that $175 is probably pretty close to exactly where I was going to end up here, so it's interesting that you ended up there. So I'm going to allow you to deduct $175 from the security deposit, like the original plan was, and order you to pay back $525 net judgment in favor of the plaintiff on the counterclaim 0.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hold on right there, guys, please.
Let's see what the defendant has to say coming out after that verdict from Judge Millian. Step on in here and give me your reaction to the outcome.
I think it's outrageous. I mean, he didn't give me notice. He moved out prior to the time he said. He admitted he said March. He said things are moving a little fast, but he didn't give a date. So that I should have gotten the 2 weeks that he left early on.
What about the work they were doing? Give me a review of the magazine to be.
Well, I mean, it depends on your taste. I leave it up to.
Okay, right around the corner there. Okay, documents are waiting for you guys. All right, so step on in here. You satisfied how this comes out?
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. How's the TV show, the internet show? Did it?
Well, right
did it
now,
happen?
no. Right now it's dead until I get some more life into it.
And the magazine, did it happen?
We're still working on it, but it's not softcore porn, though.
All right, I know. Harvey?
I'm going to make this short and sweet. The more you fill into a lease before you move into the place, the better. You establish the ground rules of the relationship. It's better for both parties. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.